Hello guys. Welcome to my channel, Jura Tempest Federation. To quick warning, this video contains spoilers for the novels' extra web novel. This video continuation of the previous video class competition day 2. If you have not watched it yet, then please watch the link in the description below. But before we proceed further, please like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell for further updates. The sunlight shone down perpendicularly, making no shade. Chai Nayan was sitting with a bag of popcorn and a can of Coke. Why are there so many magicians? Chai Nayan murmured as she looked around the archery range. She spent most of her morning loitering around the school, then arrived at the archery range with food when it was Kim Hajin's turn to go. She was surprised how many rogue magicians were around. An 8-star magician is coming today. They're probably here to see her face. Yuyona pointed at the VIP observatory a little ways away. Oh, magician Ahan? Ahan. She was a French-born 8-star magician who became a naturalized Korean citizen at the age of 11. As one of the world's 308-star magicians, she was young and extremely beautiful. Although her personality was often described in strange ways, she was practically an idol to young magicians. I heard she was coming. So this is where she was. I was wondering why I could feel the earthquake from so far away. Earthquakes were the most common magic effect used in competitive archery. There were also effects like summon monsters and plant traps, which Chai Nayan was looking forward to seeing. She couldn't wait to see Kim Hajin suffer. Next is Veritas class representative Kim Hajin and Virtue class representative Bear Morin. Oh, it's our class turn. Chai Nayan looked at the archery range with popcorn in her hand. Kim Hajin and Bear Morin came out side by side. They shook hands, then split off into their own lanes. Yuyona observed Kim Hajin's movements with her chin on her hand. Just now, Kim Hajin got up on the archery plate. The way he walked and carried himself exuded confidence. Looks like we have nothing to worry about. The class competitions event was a matter of pride for cadets. Furthermore, Veritas class was the favored winner because of its cadets. As a result, every time Veritas class lost, they felt bitter for a while because of the sense of pride and belonging they had with the class. In a way, it was similar to what Koreans felt when they lost in international competitions. By the way, what is he mumbling? At that moment, Chai Nayan furrowed her brows. Yuyona turned her gaze to the two competitors. Indeed, Bear Morin was saying something to Kim Hajin. Trash talk, I guess? Bear Morin is supposedly sly and ill-tempered. Oh really? Yuyona rarely gave false information, so Chai Nayan believed her wholeheartedly. Now that I look more closely, it does look like he's provoking Kim Hajin. I see, Morin is a piece of shit. VIP observatory, where Ahan was sitting in. To greet the honored 8-star magician, the observatory was adorned with all sorts of decorations and food. Grand Duchess Ahan, is that child your nephew? During a break, a 5-star magician who volunteered to be her attendant carefully asked. Unofficially, yes. Officially, I'm the founder of the Ah clan, so I have no relatives. Ahan grinned as she looked down at the archery range. A part of the reason she came today was to see her nephew. As expected, he grew up well. He stood out especially because he was next to some average-looking guy. The 5-star magician looked at Ahan in admiration, then spoke with a trembling voice. Ah, it's starting. Is it? Ahan placed her hand on an orb placed on a supporting platform in front of the observatory. I just need to continue doing what I did before, right? Yes, you can start with a light earthquake. I can do what I want starting from the 350-meter range, right? Since no one managed to get to 350 meters yet. Yes, but the obstacles have to be the same for both lanes. Ahan burst into laughter at the 5-star magician's admonishment. Then, she shot back at him. Would I be able to do that? Don't you know how much I cherish my nephew? Ah. Ah. Well, it's not a test, but a small festival for cadets. I'm sure it doesn't matter what you do. Do as you wish, Grand Duchess. Cadets will feel honored just by having you participate. The subordinate magician showed excessive loyalty. There was a good reason for it too. 8-star magicians were nobles among nobles, with only 87 of them existing in Korea. The title Grand Duchess wasn't just for show. As class competitions had several events, offering a single archery event as bribe wouldn't cause much of a problem. In fact, if the Grand Duchess came to Cube as a guest lecturer in exchange for this favor, it would be a huge boon for Cube. If you say so. Satisfied, Ah-Haen smiled. Damn. There was a reason why the first-place cadet only reached 320 meters. I only passed the 250-meter mark just now, but my legs were sore. It was because of the earthquake that just shook the ground I was standing on. Wow, you're pretty good. I guess it's true that you have a specialized gift. Morin spoke from next to me. However, he looked relaxed. Naturally, I had some doubts about what was happening. It was a justifiable suspicion. The extent of obstructive effects were clearly different for when I was shooting and when he was shooting. You sure are relaxed. Are you sure it's not you who just trained lazily? You. He kept provoking me with a smiling face, making it all the more irritating. I opened my eyes wide and stared at the observatory where the magician in charge of the obstructions should be staying. With my 1,000-mile eyes, I saw a Western woman using magic inside the observatory. Her red hair and white skin blended well together. Engraved on her black cape were 8 golden stars, and some magician was standing next to her, flattering her. I knew of one woman with such a setting. Ah-Haen. Thinking about it now, she had some sort of a relationship with Morin. I stealthily turned on my smartwatch and opened my settings book. Hey, your aunt is over there. Are you gonna go say hi afterwards? Huh? What do you mean? Morin's expression and voice were saying he was oblivious, but the corner of his mouth was slightly curled up. This son of a bitch definitely knew what was going on. Your aunt keeps harassing me. What do you mean? Are you making excuses because you think you're going to miss? Just hurry up and shoot, please. I raised my bow. Immediately, an earthquake broke out beneath me. It wasn't just an earthquake. Suddenly, hail began to hammer down from the sky. I was now in the 300-meter mark. It seemed a new trial was beginning. The hail struck my shoulders and fingers, and blocked my vision. It was cold and painful. However, my desire to win grew stronger. I focused all my senses on my bow and target. Tang! The arrow shot forward and successfully hit its mark. Phew! Wow, congrats. Next was Morin's turn. However, the hail falling on him was small and soft. If the hail I faced were like 228 centimeters and 521 kilograms hulks, the ones this guy was facing were, like Evandale's. Morin hit his mark without difficulty. It's your turn next. The favoritism continued to escalate. I had no choice but to smile forcefully and keep pushing forward. In the end, I reached the 350-meter mark after a painstaking effort. Both sides have surpassed the first-place record. From the 350-meter mark, the target will move 50% faster and the participant's turn order will change. In other words, Bear Morin will go first. Morin sighed as he raised his bow. It seemed he was nervous. I wondered what the next obstacle was. When I was looking at the lanes half in worry and half in expectation, huge vines suddenly shot up from the ground. Whoa! What's this? Morin shouted in surprise. 10-meter-tall vines shot up as if to swallow the entire lane. Among them, a few that were especially close to Morin swirled around him, then clung. They slammed down on the ground next to him. However, Morin remained poised. All archers cultivated patience and calm. Unless he stepped off of the archery plate, he didn't need to worry about being attacked by the vines. Not to mention, the vines were acting warm towards him. Almost like reeds, they only swayed back and forth. It was almost as if they were fanning him to cool him off. Ah! Still, Morin failed. Under the pressure from constant earthquakes and hail, he was unable to hit the target that got 50% faster. This was his limit. Ah! Morin regrettably misses his target. It was my turn once again. To be honest, I was worried. I raised my bow, swallowing my fear. Then, just as expected, the damn vines became fiercer. They were swaying freely when it was Morin's turn, but now they were spazzing out violently. I stopped thinking for a moment. Anyone could see the favoritism that was going on. But I could just tear through it as well. In a way, I also had an incredible backing in the form of Lady Luck. I knocked an arrow and pulled on the bowstring. Immediately, the vines became even more astringent, almost like they were just dumped by their lovers. I could feel their rage and agitation. Then it was time for me to get serious too. I activated bullet time. In an instant, the world slowed down. At the same time, the target shot up from a point 350 meters away. But no matter how I thought about it, I couldn't hit that target. The angle simply made it impossible. The target flew through the air, and the monster vines moved meticulously, completely blocking the path between me and the target. I was running out of time. The target could disappear at any moment. I tightened my grip and bit my lips. In a situation where I couldn't use magic power, would I be able to shoot an arrow through those vines with precise control? Just when I was thinking about giving up, a thought flashed across my mind. Scan. I murmured silently. I scanned my bow and arrow. The numbers 40 and 41 popped up. The elasticity of the bowstring, the flexibility of the arrow, all concepts making up the two objects were strengthened. I opened my eyes wide and peered through vines at the target I had to hit. Accurately tracing the predicted trajectory of the target, I knocked the arrow leaning slightly to the right. Then, I pulled the bowstring. Schwaik! The arrow flew forward, bending in a strange way. It flew right, dodging all the obstacles in the path, then curled left before flying straight like a bullet. The result was obvious. Veritas class Kim Hajin. He succeeds on the 350-meter mark. The hell, how did that arrow bend? After watching my arrow in complete shock, Morin uttered with an expression of disbelief. Did you use magic power? You think your aunt wouldn't have noticed if I did? Then what? I chucked my bow in front of me. Now that I got first place even through such blatant favoritism, I felt I needed to make things clear. This is the difference in our league. I turned around and checked my smartwatch. I felt something just now. 100%. I had to have received a gift. I knew it. There were several alerts on the smartwatch. You performed a curving arrow. Master Sharpshooter's proficiency EXP increases by 15%. Low rank gift, Curve Shot, has been added to Master Sharpshooter. Curve Shot. Long-ranged attacks will curve depending on the shooter's will. The extent of curving will change depending on the gift's grade and the type of weapon. The corner of my mouth twitched. Curve Shot. Another low-rank gift got added to Master Sharpshooter. To reiterate, my gift's strongest point was its scope of use. Proficiency gained by using a gun could be used on a bow. Likewise, a gift obtained by using a bow could be used with a gun. In other words, I was now able to shoot curving bullets. That's it for today, guys. See you in next one. For further more update, please like, share, and subscribe. And do not forget to push notification bell.